Hi, Monica.
Hi.
So what was it like being an intern at the White House?
I was in the center of where everything was going on. It was a very exciting environment in that there was just so much energy that was always flowing through the halls. There was always something happening. You sort of knew at the end of the day you had done something, that you'd worked on something that in a small way had been kind of a part of history or a part of the government. And I thought it was a lot more intriguing than I had originally expected it to be.
What did you expect out of the relations you had with the president and former president when you entered them?
I don't know that I had expectations. I mean, when it first started, I think it was just exciting. It was overwhelmingly exciting. The first time that there was any sort of a flirtatious encounter between us was, I guess it was the end of July, beginning of August. It was a departure ceremony. He just sort of looked at me in this way that sort of gave me the full-on Bill Clinton. And I responded back. I flirted back. From then on, whenever we were in situations where we saw each other, we made a lot of eye contact and were flirtatious. I think it was probably just timing that ended up happening, like why we ended up together.
Good evening. We begin tonight with what we hope is a clearer idea of why there seems to be political paralysis in Washington. With almost 1 million government employees not working, but sure to be paid later, the President and the Congress, as you know, are still struggling to get the upper hand politically on how and how much the government will spend and save.
The government had shut down, so it was this in-between period. Most of the entire staff of the executive office of the president, really of the government, was forced to stay home. The interns stepped in to help out in areas that they normally were, where they normally sort of wouldn't be. I was in the chief of staff's office answering phones, and the president was running back and forth, and he and I had this sort of look flirtation that had occurred before then. And it was nothing, it was a flirtation, you know. I mean, I was like, great, okay, this is fun. It just escalated that day. And later that night, I was passing George's office, and you know how when you pass an open door, you usually look in? I looked in, and he was standing right there. And he motioned me in, and I went in, and we started talking. And, you know, I mean, at that point, it was sort of obvious to me, you know, there was this